I was cheering on my sister at her championship fight when her insanely jealous boyfriend threatened to break my jaw. I've always been my sister's loudest supporter. We're 3 years apart, and basically a two-person team. Growing up, it was always us against the chaos. She taught me how to throw a punch when kids twice my size cornered me after school. I taught her how to drive a stick shift in an empty parking lot at midnight. We covered for each other and showed up for each other no matter what. So when she made it to the Golden Gloves regional finals, there was no force on earth keeping me out of that gym. This was the big one. Recruiters were there. College programs were watching. The whole place was packed, every folding chair filled, people standing along the back wall. I found a spot 3 rows up from the ring, close enough to see her face when they announced her name. And the second she stepped through the ropes, I lost my mind. "Let's go, Reese. That's my girl." I screamed it until my throat went raw. The crowd was loud, but I was a different kind of loud. About 2 rounds in, I noticed this guy a few seats down. Buzz cut, leather jacket, jaw clenched like he was chewing glass. He kept turning around to stare at me. At first, I figured I was just being obnoxious, so I dialed it back a notch. But during the break between rounds, I heard him clear as day. He was talking to the guy next to him, but he wanted me to hear it. Somebody better tell that loudmouth to stop screaming about my girlfriend before I do it for him. Reese is mine. My stomach dropped. I looked down at the ring. Reese was in her corner, getting her gloves checked. Was he talking about her? I almost stood up and asked him point blank who his girlfriend was, but I chickened out. Instead, I told myself there was no way. Reese had a boyfriend and never mentioned him. A boyfriend who looked ready to fight a stranger in the stands? She would have warned me about a guy like that. She told me everything. Right, 3rd round started and Reese was wrecking her opponent. 2 clean combinations. A body shot that folded the other girl in half. I couldn't hold back. I was on my feet again, screaming her name, pounding the rail. This was her moment. But every time I cheered, that guy would snap his head around and glare at me with this look that made my skin crawl. His friend kept putting a hand on his chest, clearly telling him to let it go. At one point, I watched the friend physically pull him back down into his seat. I started to feel genuinely unsafe. The kind of unsafe where you start mapping the exits, but I was not about to let some stranger scare me out of cheering for my sister. She needed to hear me. This was the biggest night of her life. Final bell rings. They lift Reese's hand. She wins by decision. The corner team floods the ring, her coach hoisting her up. People are clapping, cameras flashing, recruiters scribbling notes. I shove my way down to the edge of the ring, calling her name. She spots me, and her whole face splits into a grin. She climbs down through the ropes and throws her arms around me, gloves and all. "We did it," she keeps saying into my shoulder. I am laughing. She is half crying. It is the perfect moment. Then something slams into my back. I pitch forward, almost taking us both to the floor. Reese catches my arm, confused. I spin around, and there he is, the guy from the stands, face purple, eyes wild. Before I can even get a word out, he grabs a fistful of my shirt and shoves me into the rail. "Stay away from her," he is yelling, spit flying. "I don't care how loud you scream her name. Reese is mine. You don't get to put your hands on her." The whole section goes dead quiet. Everybody within 30 feet stops to watch. Reese steps between us, and her voice comes out flat and cold. "That is my brother." His grip goes slack. The color drains right out of his face. "Your brother?" he says. "Yeah, my little brother. The one I've told you about 100 times. His friend behind him mutters, "Oh my God, Damon." The recruiters are staring. Her coach is staring. The whole gym has stopped. Reese looks at him with an expression I have never seen on her before. Pure disgust. "We're done," she says, peeling off her gloves. "Don't text me. Don't show up at my gym. We're done." He reaches for her. "Reese, come on. I didn't know." She pulls her arm away. "You just put your hands on my brother at my championship fight. We're done." He starts stammering excuses, but she has already turned her back on him. She wraps an arm around me and walks me toward the locker rooms. Behind us, I can hear his own friend tearing into him. "What is wrong with you? You attacked a kid." Reese squeezes my shoulder and says she is so sorry. She had no idea he was that insecure. I rub my back where I hit the rail. "Did you really just dump him for me?" She looks at me like I asked the dumbest question she has ever heard.